Hello and welcome to Talk Wargaming. We're back with another bolt action review, and in this video we're going to be unboxing the Soviet Infantry Winter. Now this kit contains 40 multi-pose hard plastic 28mm miniatures, and obviously they're in the winter uniforms. Now this goes fantastic with the Ostfront, which contains a lot of the kind of winter scenarios. On the back we have some of the examples of the assembled miniatures as well, kind of a few shots of the sprue. Now in the box, like I said, we get 40 infantry. You can kind of equip them with various weapons, the Mosin Nagant, PTRD anti-tank rifle, PPS H41s, all sorts of things. You can get an MP40 SMG in there, sorry. We also get some bases and a background leaflet as well. So let's open this box up and have a look at the sprues. So here we have the box's contents, and this is the leaflet that I mentioned. This contains kind of like details on what you actually get in here. This is the sprue with all the weapons and equipment on there, and it's nicely kind of labelled so you know exactly what the parts are, which if you're not kind of clued up on Soviet weapons, it's quite helpful to see what's what. On the back we have the other sprue that you get in this kit, and this contains actually the infantry as well, kind of as labelled up as well so you can see exactly what's what. We have a few examples of the assembled miniatures at the top as well there, and I missed it on the other side. There's also kind of like a little bit of a background for the Soviet Infantry Winter as well. Inside you get two variations of sprues. You also get the base sprue as well. We get the weapon sprue that I mentioned, as well as the actual the sprue which contain the infantry. You get how many of this now? I think you get 5 of these sprues. There's 8 men on each sprue, so that obviously makes 40, and you get 3 of the weapon sprues as well. So let's zoom into these sprues and kind of get a little bit better look at the parts. So I've zoomed in on the sprue so we can get a better look at the weapons, and you get a fantastic choice of weapons on the sprue. You've got Mosin Nagant, you've got a scoped on there for a kind of squad marksman. We've got the handguns, the PPSH, I think this is the 41, and then it's got the 40 as well. We've got the SVT-40 as well. We've got some Mosin Nagants with bayonets and the kind of straps, and also a captured Panzerfaust. Now you also get the equipment on here. So you've got the DP-28, which is this weapon here with a kind of very, very strange disc cartridge that sits on top, and we've got the canisters for that as well, and like a spare cartridge and bipods. So some excellent choice of weapons on this sprue, which kind of kit your guys out, and it's got a few grenades up there as well. So here we have the sprue that actually contains all the infantry. Now on here you get 2 types of uniform. You get the great coats there, and also kind of the quilted jacket and trousers as well. Now what I like about these great coats is some of them actually come with the felt overboots. So you've got the kind of standard boots there and the kind of extra padding of the felt there. You get a whole choice of heads for this, and these are all at the top. You've got a variety of kind of fur caps, forage caps with scarves. We've got a peaked cap. We've also got helmets with scarves as well, so excellent options all around. You get some little kind of weapons on the sprue, such as this Molotov there, and you've also got an arm which is kind of holding a PPS H over his shoulder. We get a few different like pouches for the ammunition to kind of add detail, and we also get some entrenching tools at the bottom there. Great variety of kind of poses that you can get on here. You've got even got this guy who's lying down, but you can use for your DP-28 operator, or you can just have him crawling along the ground. The detail is fantastic as well. The kind of the grooves and the lines on the coats is nice detail, is kind of very realistic. The faces look okay as well. Some of them are better than others. I think these guys a couple of these guys down at the bottom look a little bit goofy looking compared to some of the other guys. I think they're definitely like this guy who's got his scarf over his nose. So yeah, that was the infantry sprue. As I mentioned before, you get 8 infantry on there, and some great quality casts as well. So now that you've seen the sprue, let's actually have a look at some of the assembled miniatures and see what they're like in the flesh. So here I have a few of the assembled infantry. So I've got a one with a great coat and the felt boots, and I'm using the overslung PPSH, who's just kind of walking along. Maybe kind of stood like that, so he's kind of running along, try and keep low, but he's obviously not under fire because he's just got his weapon slung over his arm. We also got another guy who's got the quilted uniform, and he's got his like I think it's a bedroll that kind of was wrapped across there, or like a blanket as well, across his shoulder, and he's also carrying his Mosin Nagant. So he's not at the moment in combat, but he's running, and he's featuring the fur cap. We've got another guy in the great coat as well that I've assembled. and he's kind of pointing towards the front whilst looking behind him, obviously kind of spurring on his troops or pointing out some enemy positions. And he's equipped with the PPSH. Now what I like about this is you can see his little mitten there, which is kind of just obviously a string that's kind of going around his back, or it's just kind of clipped onto his sleeve there. But obviously to fire his weapon, he's got to take it off. So nice variety of poses, and we've got one more as well that I'll show you. And this guy's got the most in the guns. I've actually just realised most of my guys are just kind of walking around, so they're quite. He's kind of stalking. Looks like he's keeping aware, but none of them are actually in combat situations really. I have to kind of remedy that with some of the extra ones that I do. So very nice miniatures overall. To assemble, they weren't too bad. They come in, like I said, the piece, like you saw on the previously, a body and a leg section, so quite easy to assemble. You just have to add the arms, the weapon, and the head, and any kind of accessories as well. There wasn't much in the way of mould lines on the arms. However, they did find that some of the hands had quite a lot of flashing on there, which it was only very thin, so it's quite easy to kind of scrape off with a hobby knife. So not too bad. Obviously, the plastic made it very easy to kind of assemble them. One thing I would recommend actually, which I'll kind of cover on one of my future reviews, is the Army Painter's plastic glue is fantastic for gluing these, because one thing I do struggle with these kits is kind of matching up the arms correctly with kind of the right and the left arms and kind of fitting the weapons in there. Sometimes it's a lot of trial and error and kind of reposing them to get the positioning right. Now with the Army Painter glue, you can actually, it doesn't dry straight away. With the Revell glue's a lot kind of faster at drying, so you can kind of get quite a lot of reposing in there before it sets, and you're kind of stuck with that, or you're going to kind of snap arms off, and it just kind of messes up the joins then. So pro tip, use Army Painter glue for these. So yeah, those were the Winter Soldier. Let's kind of like zoom back out and get a summary of them. So that was the Soviet Infantry in Winter Uniform box set. Now, I really like the look of these. I kind of like that kind of winter aesthetic with the great coats and the kind of the head wraps as well. The miniatures look fantastic. You get plenty of choice in this box, plenty of options, and there's also plenty of miniatures as well to kind of flesh out your forces. As I mentioned in my previous video, the Ostfront book, it's got quite a lot of kind of winter scenarios in there, so these are fantastic for those. Yeah, I think I'm quite impressed by the bolt action plastics in general. It's nice that the fact that they have these figurehead systems as well, so you can kind of quite easily mix and match the heads across your units to kind of get some nice variations in there. I will actually be doing a painting tutorial for these very soon, so be sure to subscribe for that and keep tuned. If there's any other bolt action content you'd like to see, let us know in the comments and we'll do our best to accommodate you. So thanks for watching and goodbye.